Actually, you know what? Here's what I do so I don't have to edit it later or have YouTube edit it later. I just simply stop and start the recording again. That way, it's been playing the music the entire time we're on starting soon. Easy. Easy. I didn't forget to change the game so you could hear the music during the scene. No, not at all. Alright, well, I waited out the ads in the silence, apparently. But now the music's playing. We can just start. Fuck it. Hello, everybody. Oh, God, we have all the Mahjong stuff still here. Goodbye. Goodbye. It's in a folder called Mahjong stuff, so it's only allowed to be here during Mahjong, right? That's the rules with that, I think. Hello, hi. We're back with potentially my final stream before I leave for Offkai. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. If I do, it'll be during the day because I don't have work. And I got other stuff to do Wednesday night. But we'll see. We'll see. I might just say fuck you guys and just play Mahjong all day instead. That's also a possibility. Always a non-zero chance of that. Hello, gamers. Hi. We are here to continue Steins Gate. We're not gonna finish it tonight. If I do end up streaming it tomorrow, I don't even think we'll be able to finish it tomorrow. Because today, we're gonna do the Mayuri ending. Then, we have to do a series of cell phone-based flags to get Kudisu's ending. And then, I think we gotta do other stuff to get the true ending. Probably other cell phone-related stuff. Seems to be a theme here in the game that involves sending text messages to the past with the cell phone. It turns out to get the true endings, you gotta use your cell phone. What the heck? But anyways, as far as I understand, we're definitely going to be doing the Mayuri ending unless I have accidentally answered all of the correct things on the cell phone text messages, which I don't think we did. I don't remember if I did, at least. If I did, then we'll end up in the Kudisu ending, which it will tell us. But I'm pretty sure if the chapter is called Stardust Sky, I'm pretty sure that means that we are, in fact, in Chapter 10, Mayuri's ending specifically. Because I think Kudisu's ending is called something different. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But, yes. So, I just got a notification on my phone from somebody. I don't know which video they commented on, but it says, great video, upload more. I don't know what video you've commented on, but you're right, I should. Can I actually check which video they commented on? Which video prompted this? What happened? Where did this come from? Oh, my, just listened to the song, analysis video about, Fujimoto. Tatsuki Fujimoto. Okay, I see. Hey, listen, it's been a while. You know, streaming has taken over things, a lot of my time. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm usually playing fucking Mahjong or Drakengard nowadays. So I don't even know, man. I gotta get some of that shit back going, though. I like doing the YouTube videos, the actual scripted stuff. But now, every time I sit down to try to do it, it's like a whole being like, this isn't as good as my old videos mindset, I think. I'll like rewatch some of my old videos and be like, damn, I was kind of cooking with some of these. And then I like will try to write a new script and I'm like, I can't remake the magic. I don't know. It don't feel the same. And I don't want to force it, you know? I don't know. It's just things like that. Kind of why, you haven't really seen newer ones for a while, along with the fact of just time. I think that's the bigger factor in here. I'm like so focused on other things that I just haven't been doing it. But that's really on me. I gotta plan these things out more. Let me pour some water here. And we can get going with Mayuri's ending. Moika didn't actually get an ending. I had to label the fucking VOD for YouTube, which I don't remember if I had published on yet. I had to label that Moika's route. Not ending. It's just a route. It's not even a route, technically. But I was like, well, fuck. How come Moika doesn't get an ending? What the heck? That's fucked up. Maybe this will be fixed with the remake. Probably not. Alright. How's about we get to reading? Load. Translucent Stardust. Oh, I named this properly, right? The actual, chapter's name is Stardust Sky. They've called it Translucent Stardust in the patch I've applied. I don't... One of these words is not like the others. The word Stardust is in both of them. This is saying Translucent Stardust. The other one's saying Stardust Sky. I think I like Stardust Sky. They also call the last chapter Infinitely Chained Apoptosis. Apoptosis, sorry. The thing said apoptosis. But the actual chapter ending's title is Endless Apoptosis. And I know that's the case because that's what the achievement's called. That was a like localized choice there. So, not a fan of the fan chosen names for these names, the fan translated names of them, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're more accurate to what the Japanese is, for all I know. The localized ones go harder though. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Also, hello Shadow. Okay. Let's start Translucent Sky, aka Translucent Stardust, aka Stardust Sky. I thought that I had found the solution, that everything would be alright. But the equation was meaningless. I had solved nothing. Instead, I am left with a terrible choice. Mayuri or Kurisu. One of them must die. Radicon is still off limits. They haven't yet repaired the hole that Suzuha's time machine made. I looked down through the hole at the streets of Akiba. From up here, they look narrow and stifling. Across the way, a train rumbles by. I watch the yellow-striped cars move past. I came here because I wanted to be alone. The day before yesterday, I abruptly canceled the attempt to hack CERN. Kurisu and Daru demanded an explanation, but I just couldn't give them one. The decision had paralyzed me. 2 days later, I am still nowhere close to finding an answer. What do I do? 2 weeks ago, on July 28th, Dr. Nakabachi held a press conference in this very spot. The same day, Kurisu was murdered. Let's say we go through with the plan and delete the first email I sent, the one about Kurisu's death, from CERN's database. That would return us to the Beta World line, where it all began. What would happen then? According to my predictions, our friend, lab member 004, Makise Kurisu, would disappear. Someone who died on July 28th cannot be alive now on August 15th. That would defy causality. A time paradox. The world has already decided to eliminate her. The moment we erase the D-mail, Kurisu will cease to exist. And so I am left with two options. Option 1, hack CERN with the IBN 5100 and erase the first D-mail I sent, thus returning to the Beta World line. Kurisu will disappear, but Mayuri will live. CERN will never build a time machine, and the future will be free. Option 2. Don't hack CERN. Keep living here on the Alpha World line. Mayuri will die, so will Moeka and FB. Kurisu will likely be kidnapped by CERN, but at the very least she won't die. With her research, CERN will gain control of space-time, and the future will be a dystopia where no one is free.
どちらか選べ。
There's like... He really wrote down all the pros and cons on the list and said, like, there's far too many cons in this world line. And the other side is like, alright, Kurisu dies. It's like, well, are we really going to force the sacrifice upon her? There's a lot of things that go wrong in this timeline. And I'm supposed to choose? Ridiculous. I choke out a laugh. How am I, of all people, supposed to make that choice?
こんなの。
See, why do they take so long sometimes to read their lines? Please! I don't really care about the future, whether it's free or ruled by CERN. I know I should care. Suzuha entrusted her wish to me. Doesn't that make it my responsibility? But still, it doesn't seem quite real. 20 years is a long time. Right now, only Mayuri and Kurisu matter. I must choose which to save. If I had been given this choice back on July 28th before this all started, I probably would not have hesitated to abandon Kurisu and save Mayuri. But it's not July 28th, it's August 15th. I've spent 2 long weeks with Kurisu. She's one of us now. It's been longer than 2 weeks, by the way, because time travel. But ignoring that, she's one of us now, an integral part of the lab. And as I leapt through the time again and again, she was the person I relied on most. Always calm, always thoughtful, always ready with a new hypothesis. Always there to give me a push when I needed it most. I wouldn't even have the time leap machine if not for Kurisu. It's thanks to her that I made it this far. After all she's done for me, there's no way I can abandon her now. But nor can I let Mayuri die. Everything I've done, I did to save her. I would give anything, even my own life, to see her safe. More than anything, I want her to live. No matter what, I won't let her die.
結局どっちも選べない。選べるわけがない。
Kill Kurisu or kill Mayuri? This is what this choice comes down to.
こんな結末なのかよ。
I drive my fist into the wire fence.
鈴葉やフェイリスやルカ子や萌えか、みんなの思いを犠牲にしてまでたどり着いたのが
Man.
こんな結末なのかよ。
Man. We had to go through so much just to realize we're fucked no matter what here. Is there no other option? No way to save them both? What if I use Suzuha's time machine? I could return to the Beta World line, then use her time machine to travel to July 28th. No, that won't work. The reason Suzuha left in 2010 was to prevent CERN from creating a dystopia. That only occurs on this world line. If I escape the Alpha World line, the future Suzuha wished for will become a reality, and she'd have no reason to leap back to 2010. Her time machine won't exist on the Beta World line, so I won't be able to use it. That one's hurting my brain. That one's hurting my brain. I thought... So we effectively can't use the time machine, the actual time machine, for anything? That one's hurting my brain. Hold on. I get what he's saying, like, but also, we're like, haven't we already gone through this? With the logic of the D-mails, at least, we're like shifting which of the world lines, or which of the attractor fields / world lines is like existing in the rules of this world. So it's not like we aren't allowed to go back and make these changes. But I guess that rule only works if we use the D-mail, not the actual time machine. Because the actual time machine is still an object that we need to be able to utilize and have be created in the future to exist, I guess. The D-mails work because we eventually do make the microwave still, I guess. That has to be the only way, I assume. Okay. I just wanted to run through that in my head for a second, because that one's hurting my brain. Alright, then what if I send Kurisu a warning via D-mail? See? The logic might work. I could say, don't go to Dr. Nakabachi's presentation. No, that won't work either. Remember, causality converges. Kurisu's death is inevitable on the beta world line, just as Mayuri's is inevitable on this world line. Well, I mean, I feel like we have a flawed assumption here that we only have 2 different attractor fields or world lines to work with. We only have the alpha and beta attractor fields. Are we not like we're not even gonna attempt that one? We know that the D-mail works for changes. We know that it works for some changes. Why would this not potentially create a third attractor, or get us to a third attractor field? How come that one didn't get banned? Promotion. Oh, okay, I see. Alright, we'll ban that one. Get him out of here. Okay. Just as Mayuri's death is inevitable on this world line. No matter what I do, the world will ensure her death.
ダメだ。
I slowly sink to the floor with my back against the fence.
俺は助けられない。
Are you sure? We didn't even try that last idea. We're not even gonna try it? I'm powerless against the will of the world. What should I do? What should I do? Again, like, the D-mails work. The time leap machine doesn't. But the D-mails work. We've seen that. Let's just try that. Why not? What should I do? I mean, I guess the fact that we use the D-mail at all in this world line means that CERN will have one of the D-mails in their database, and hence we have all these problems here, which is why we can't do anything else about it, maybe. But oh wait, but then again, hold on, never mind. I just thought about it again. Sending Kurisu a warning D-mail wouldn't matter because Dr. Nakabachi's presentation gets cancelled on this world line anyways, because Suzuha's satellite crashes into the Radicon building and the presentation's cancelled in general. So it's not like that's gonna do anything currently. And Kurisu's satellite okay, so now this makes more sense in my head. Because the satellite crashes into the building because CERN eventually takes over, and CERN eventually takes over because they catch one of our D-mails in their database. Doesn't matter which D-mail it is, they just have one of them. And the first D-mail was us sending a D-mail to Daru, saying that Kurisu got stabbed. Which only prevented her from getting killed because we swapped over to the beta world line because of the fact that a D-mail was intercepted by CERN, and then eventually they make that dystopia, and then Suzuha has the time machine and then comes back and then interferes. Okay, alright, so this is making more sense to me when I think about it more. Okabe's not thinking about that, he's just being like, it's hopeless, but he's not like running through that, like the full thought process behind it. But okay, I see. What should I do? Maybe Mayuri doesn't die on the current world line. I cancelled Moiga's D-mail, plus I haven't had an opportunity to check the divergence meter since. Might there be a chance? If the pattern continues, Mayuri's death has been pushed back to the night of the 17th. If Mayuri doesn't die between 7 and 8 p.m. that night, then I won't have to face this horrible decision. I know it's unlikely, I understand that from all my experiences so far. But still, I can't help but cling to that hope. Mayuri and Kurisu. If I could just save them both. And I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I'll betray Suzuha's dream if that's what it takes. So please let Mayuri live. To whom should I make this desperate plea? God? Fate? The world itself? Either way, I am just one insignificant human among billions. Will my prayers truly reach? I already know what the answer will be. And that knowledge, why did I say calamity? And that knowledge, that certainty, is despair. Kamima runs for 3 days straight, from the 15th to the 17th. On the last day, I go to Mayuri and stay with her from morning until Kamima closes. It's not really my thing, though, and the crowd is ridiculous, so I wait off to the side with Mayuri's bags. From time to time, Mayuri appears with new bags for me to guard, and usually a snack for us to share, but I spend most of the day alone. To some extent, I'm here to escape reality, to empty my mind and forget my fears. But even when I close my eyes, I can still hear the footsteps of death approaching. We're home? They don't look like home yet. It's already dark by the time the bus drops us back at Akiba. Okay, alright, I see. Mayuri is dragging her costume case behind her. I'm carrying bags covered in moe artwork and loaded with doujinshi. These are all Mayuri's purchases, not mine. I can't believe she bought so much. I guess the reason she doesn't cosplay herself is that she's too busy shopping. We get off the bus and just stand there for a while.
Mayuriはこれからどうするんだ? まっすぐ家に帰るか?
Okabe's voice right now. We're not Chuni, we're not like we're like little baby boy, like this girl's about to die in a few minutes mode. Going to lab? What time is it?
何か用事が?
特にないけどね。オカリンと一緒に久
Aww.
々にのんびりしたいなって。
Aw, Mayuri. You're about to die,
ちょっ
Mayuri.
とお腹が空いたからね。途中で
Juicy
ジューシ
chicken
ー
number
唐揚
one.
げナンバーワンを買うの。
Number one? Yeah? Uh-huh. Oh. Okay, I just saw somebody join the Discord. I don't know if they're legit or not. Maybe they are. Keep an eye if somebody starts spamming the fucking Discord channels. They seem like they might be a real person for all I know. We had somebody in the Discord the other day just immediately post. They joined and then immediately posted like a time lapse in the art channel, which I guess was like an AI spam or AI generated thing, maybe. It was like their first message. And they had kind of a weird name. Maybe. Alright, this person that joined, I can't tell. Maybe they're fine. Or maybe they're a hacked account. Just keep an eye out. If they start Mr. Beast scamming you guys, okay? Start screaming. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Maybe Mayuri wants a taste. Maybe Mayuri wants a taste of normalcy again. Now that the chaos of Kamima has ended. I can't begrudge her that. I stifle a groan and shrug my shoulders.
じゃあ帰るか?
Back to the lab.
ねえねえオカリン。今日はね、どうしてマユシーについてきてくれたの？これまでは一度もコミマに一緒に行ったことないよね。オカリンは萌えには興味ないもんね。
Yeah, what do you mean? We love Moe.
ロボットアニメには興味はある。
I like robots. Robot anime. My mechas. Gundam and such. But not so much that I line up early in the morning for Kamima each year, like Daru and Mayuri do.
で、どうして今日は付き合ってくれたの？
それは
To confirm your death. Those words pop into my head, but I quickly shake them away. Why am I so set on Mayuri dying? I wanted to live, remember?
それは
気まぐれだ。
そっか。
Suddenly, silence. A downhearted frown replaces the usual smile on Mayuri's face. Did my answer upset her? Well, it's not like I could tell her the truth. How do you tell somebody they're going to die?
ルカ子が
I frantically try to smooth things over.
コスプレして恥ずかしがっているところを見て笑ってやろうと思ったのだが来ていなくて残念だった。
Ah, that's the excuse we're gonna go for here. I see.
ああ、うん。ルカ君、絶対大人気になっちゃうのにね。いろんなブログに画像アップされまくってね、新聞社のニュースサイトにも載って海外にも紹介されちゃったりするよ。そしたらルカ君はワールドワイドなスーパースターなので、マユシーはそれを見て遠いところに行っちゃったなーって思いを馳せるのです。
本当にそうなりそうだから困る。
オカリ
Suddenly, Mayuri turns around and peeks at my face as she walks backwards.
今日はね、ありがと
なんだ
Of course.
突然。
Anything for you, Mayushi.
う。だってね、さっきも言ったけど、オカリンと一緒にコミマ来たの初めてだもん。マユシーは結構嬉しかったよ。
A smile finally returns to Mayuri's face.
でもね、次はオカリンもコスプレしてくれるともっと嬉しいかも。
Yeah, next time.
ああ、考えておく。
Yeah. That's right. Don't think negative thoughts. Think about a fun, bright future.
いいの？本当に？
Sure.
マユリ自身もコスプレして参加するならな。
Oh?
それだけじゃなく、ルカ子とそれとクリスティーナも呼ぼう。二人にそこまでできたなら、真打ちとしてこの俺が狂気のマッドサイエンティストを大いに強魔としてコミマに降臨しようではないか。
Oh my god, he's trying to be Chuny, but he's like sad voice mode. The next Kamima takes place this winter. We'll all be there, as if none of this ever happened. All of us laughing and smiling together. Just imagine a future like that.
そっか、道は険しいね。でもね、今ちょっと想像してみたらとっても楽しそう。それにクリスちゃんはコスプレに興味津々みたいだったし、脈あるかも。
That's true, there's hope.
マユシ、頑張ってみるね。
We arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody here today. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is Moika going to ambush us? On the previous world line, I forgave Moika and Tennoji, but that has already been undone. Come on, video game. This is a new world line. The Rounders are still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, I see. Oh, by the way, it's raining here. And I just heard thunder. If my power goes out, if the stream suddenly ends, it's probably because my power went out. I don't know if it'll happen though, but just in case, I'm just warning you ahead of time, okay? This is a new world line. The Rounders are still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine.
マユリ、ここでちょっと待ってろ。
Not that it matters that the Rounders are alive, because Mayuri could just die of a heart attack too, so... I motion for her to sit and wait on the bench in front, then I carefully check the area. I know my efforts are likely futile. But still, I want to do anything I can, anything to give Mayuri a chance, however small, of surviving on this world line. Something tells me it would be foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first, I decide to check the street for any suspicious people. I walk down the street towards Kuramaebashi Dori, careful to always keep Mayuri in sight. Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street fires its engines and takes off in our direction. I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar. But I have seen that station wagon before. It's the same one Moika used to run us over on a previous world line. The same one Tenergy used to transport the IBM 5100. And now it's bearing down on me at full speed. I'm in the center of the road. There's nowhere to run. The station wagon flips on its high beams, instantly turning my vision white. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab. Instead, I'm facing a charging car. What do I do? I'm fine. I won't die. The world hasn't approved of that fate. No, wait. What day is it? This is the first time I've made it to the 17th. Does this mean my death is still undecided? Yes, your death is always undecided here. Actually, no. I technically, I don't think it is undecided. I think you know that you live to the future because of the time machine stuff still being there, I think. So I'm pretty sure you can't die here. Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that will save her, if that will end this, then maybe it's for the best. No, I don't want to die yet. Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to turn. Would I be the one to die? And she pushes us. Fuck. Fuck! Something slams into my back. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone saved me? I look up to see the station wagon's tail lights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the center of the road, is Mayuri. I run to her side. Mayuri is bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? But that's not what I wanted. I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitch, then slowly open.
Mayuri. ごめん。俺のせいで。
Her hand wanders as if seeking something. It reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy. They could close any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. And for some reason, she smiles. Finally. Oh, I don't read this. Stardust handshake. Her delicate fingers grasp at the sky. But all they find is empty air. Her arm goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Mayuri is no longer breathing. I've seen her die countless times, but this time it's too much. This time it's all my fault. I embrace Mayuri's tattered body, her lifeless, motionless, tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back my tears.
Mayuri, ここからじゃあんまり星が見えないな。こんなのあんまりだろう。
Why did she have to die like this? You know damn well why. The only reason this happened is because this is what the world wished for. Her death is unavoidable, the result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen, but I never imagined that she would die saving me, and with a smile on her face.
やっと役に立てたって。一体どういう意味なんだよ。なあ。
There is no future for Mayuri on this world line. And that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the beta world line killing Kurisu? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I am the one who twisted fate. I am the one who must decide. By going back first. That blue sky above. Not to be confused with the blue sky online. I'm on the roof of Radicon after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. I lean against the wire fence and stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. I wanted more time to think, that's why I came back. Last time I spent 2 days refusing to face reality. But that is no longer an option now that I've confirmed Mayuri's death. This time I need to reach a decision. But how? This equation has no solution. But no matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose the beta world line, where Sir never creates a dystopia. But it's not that simple. Not for me. There must be some other way. According to Suzuha, 2010 is a point of great convergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence had already commenced by the time I sent the D-mail reporting Kurisu's death. So when did divergence begin? I can't say for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the phone wave named subject to change. That was around the middle of July. Dara and I deemed it a failure right after completion. By the time Kurisu was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day, when I sent the D-mail that started it all. At that moment, every pedestrian and vehicle on the main street of Akiba suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago, but now I can't explain it. Or now I can finally explain it. That was the moment I shifted from the beta world line to the alpha world line. On the beta world line, that's where this all began. Suzuha didn't arrive in her time machine. Dr. Nakabachi's conference went ahead as planned, and the flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent the D-mail, events changed on a huge scale, from my perspective at least. On the current world line, Suzuha crashed her time machine into the roof of Radicon. Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick, it's so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of the D-mail. I moved to the Alpha world line after Kurisu died. If I had sent the D-mail before she died, then I might have been able to intervene, even now, on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent the D-mail because I saw Kurisu's body. That's the way it has to be. Wait, hold on, pause. Okay, the timing of the D-mail. I moved to the Alpha world line after Kurisu died. I'd sent the D-mail before she died. If I had sent the D-mail before she died, then I might have been able to intervene even now on this world line. What? Why would you have sent that email before she died? I mean, I get now we're pointing it out. Like, we sent it because we saw the body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. Definitely wasn't suicide. The whole reason, by the way, I don't think, knowing what we know now, we shift to this world line because we've sent any D-mails in general. It doesn't matter the timing of it, I don't think. It doesn't matter what we send the D-mail about. We move on to this timeline because we send a D-mail in general, right? Because CERN's database sees it, and then the chain of events causes Suzuha to be here and everything else. Just sending a D-mail in general is what moves us here, right? So okay. I understand. I just wanted to make sure I understood our current state of things. It definitely wasn't suicide. What if I identify the murderer and send them a D-mail warning them off? Would that prevent her death? I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that D-mail, I would first have to move to the beta world line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. Well, I feel like if you send a D-mail in general, by the way, you move to the alpha world line, I think. This is what it seems. I guess? By the way, we keep calling it the alpha world line. Wouldn't it... Do we call it the alpha world line, or is it like the alpha attractor field? But we're just making it easier on ourselves and calling it the world line. There's like many world lines within the attractor fields, and we're on one of the alpha world lines, I guess. I think. I've already seen Mayuri die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent, it failed. I understand all too well. When the world desires someone's death, nothing can stop it. I can't save Kurisu. I thought I was alone, but it seems that I was wrong. I turn around to see Kurisu standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face, not now. Now, usually when we have a problem in this story, like a moral dilemma or something like this, we go and consult Kurisu, because she's much smarter than us, okay? Unfortunately, now the question becomes, do you live or does Mayuri live? And if we go to talk to her about it, she's probably going to say, sacrifice me for Mayuri. Probably. Maybe. So, we can't exactly go talk to Kurisu about it, because she's just going to say that. But, I don't know. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face, not now.
こんなところで何してる？
いや、よくここが分かったな。
一人になりたいって言ってたから。
She crunched the numbers and knew my alone time would be here.
だったら一人にさせてくれ。わざわざ探さなくていい。俺は迷子の子供じゃない。
何よ。せっかく人が心配して探しに来たのに。いや、心配はしてないけど。
No, absolutely not. I never. No. Of course not. Of course you weren't. By the way, this is cute. I'm gonna screen cap this one. There you go. Hello? Video game? Hello? Right after she gets herself flustered, Kurisu sighs and puts on a serious expression.
私だってあんたのことなんて放っておこうかと思った。ただ、一昨日の岡部なんか変だったから。まあいつも変なんだけど、いつも以上に。 って意味でくそまずいオートミール食べてる時みたいなしょげっぷりじゃない
A kid being forced to eat crappy oatmeal. I mean, that's one way to describe what I'm going through right now.
何も。
だったらなんでセルンへのクラッキングをやめたの？
お前だってクラッキングは良くないと言っていただろう。
タイーホフラグが立ってビビったんですね。わかります。
Arrest flags.
せめて順法精神に目覚めたと言ってくれ。
You should praise me for obeying the law.
全然らしくないな。いつもの独善的な態度はどこ行ったのよ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、法王院京馬のくせに。
独善的でなんかいられるか。
To hell with your ego.
今回ばかりは独善的じゃいられないんだ。
We're not fucking around here, Kurisu. I have forced my ego on others before. Suzuha, Ferris, Lukuko, I sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. I justified it by telling myself that it was necessary to save Mayuri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made my self-righteous choice. But this time the alternatives are impossible to compare.
仲間のどちらを見殺しにするかって決断を前にして独善的でいられたらむしろどれだけ楽だっただろうな。
どちらかを見殺しってどういう意味？
なあ、クリスティーナ。俺は所詮ただの学生なんだよ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、法王院京馬。そんなの全部妄想だ。設定だ。気づかなかっただろ。
You had no idea. My Chuni self wasn't real, huh?
いや、初対面時点でなんとなく気づいて
No,
ました。
no, you couldn't have known. You couldn't have possibly known.
初対面か。
What if I hadn't found Kurisu's body back then? Let's try imagining that situation. If I hadn't seen Kurisu dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, we would never have built the time leap machine, leaving me without the means to save Mayuri. And of course, Kurisu would not have become our friend. We would not be as close as we are right now.
答えて岡部。どういう意味なの？
I can't meet her questioning
どう
gaze.
しても言わないとダメか。
散々相談に乗ってやったでしょ。今さら遠慮するな。
It's not what this is
だっ
about.
たら覚悟してくれ。これから話すのは相談じゃない。お前にとっては死亡宣告になる。
Kurisu's voice cracks a little.
俺は説明したよな。セルにクラッキングをすることでマユリが死ぬことのないベータ世界線へたどり着けると。
Yeah, we told her what that email that we have to delete is.
2036年のセルンのディストピアもなくなる。自由な未来が待ってるバラ色の世界線。
バラ色なものかよ。元凶となった最初の D メール、その内容はお前にも見せたはずだ。ベータ世界線ではそのメールの内容が実際に起きた。
Kurisu is a genius. I have no doubt that she
ベ
understands.
ータ世界線ではお前は7月28日に、そしてそれはアトラクターフィールド理論による収束のせいでどうしても回避できない。マユリを救おうとするなら俺はお前を見殺しにしないといけないんだ。
Fuck. Kurisu says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Kurisu is always like this. Always calm no matter what. It's hard to believe she's younger than me. Her soft chestnut brown... Why did I say brown? Her soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. I think I saw the word blows, and I think my brain just thought it said brown next. Listen. She lifts a hand to hold it down.
ねえ、岡部。アトラクターフィールドってどこまで信憑性があると思う？
信憑性？
あれって全部ジョン・タイター、天音さんの受け売りでしょ。2036年時点ではスタンダードらしいけど、その時代の研究者たちは
That's what I'm
一体どうやってそれ
asking.
が正しいって
Or at
証明
least
したの？
I did ask that in my one YouTube video. I was like, we're just told this is just the model, but we don't know how they prove it. How do we prove this?
理論が間違っている
It could
と
be.
言いたいのか。だが確かに
Yeah, but we can still try other things. We don't have to give up. We got other shit to try.
身をもって体験した。
収束は正しいとしても、無限個に枝分かれした世界線が重ね合わせ状態になっている
True.
っていうのは、
Let her cook.
俺が世界線を移動すると世界は再構成される。過去から未来までだ。
それって岡部の主観での話でしょ。あんたの脳が認識してる私はベータ世界線に行くと死んでるのよね。 それはつまり、私が死んでいる世界線と私が死んでいない世界線のうち、あんたの主観があんたの脳が認識する世界と私の脳が認識する世界は別物かもしれないっていう可能性はないのかな。
Brains, huh? I forgot her specialty is brain science, not neuroscience, like some people like to call it. Her specialty is brain science.
別物って世界が分裂するということか。
分裂というか、電車みたいなものなのかも。
電車？
わかりやすい例を挙げると、
Kurisu takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it.
路線図で調べてみたけど、秋葉原から横浜に行くのにどの路線を選ぶか。
お前、鉄オタ
I
だったの
didn't
か？
know you were a rail fan. Rail fan, short for a railroad fanatic. An otaku with an interest in trains. Tetsuota.
違う。例えよ、例え。あんたは山手線で東京駅まで出て、そこから東海道本線に乗るのを選んだ。
Kurisu keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary.
でも私は山手線で大崎まで行った後、湘南新宿ラインに乗った。
This example's not... I don't know Japanese train lines, man. You can't...
もしかしたら別の人。橋田なんかはそもそもいきなり秋葉原から京浜東北線に乗っちゃうかもしれない。まゆりなら東京から新幹線に。岡部と私は東京駅までは同じ電車に乗ってるけど、そこからは違う線に乗って同じ目的地を目指している。
Okay.
それを世界に当てはめるとパラレルワールドを主張するのか。
Hey, listen, I've been saying this. I've said this in my videos and shit too. It makes more sense to me. But this game is just, or the game's lore tries to state like there are no parallel worlds. There's only one active thing at a time. But like, there could be.
たまには私も妄想ぐらいする。
Delusions. You can learn more about that in Chaos Head Noah.
でも世界が一つだと誰が証明した？
True. Where's the proof?
鈴葉の言葉と俺のリーディングシュタイナーが。
Yeah, well, reading Steiner is kind of fucking with your perspective of all this, buddy.
正体不明のタイムトラベラーと原因不明の特殊能力ね。
True.
鈴葉は正体不明では。
彼女が橋田の娘かどうかは誰にも証明できない。2036年から来たかも、ディストピアのことも証明できない。実際に
Okay, well,
2036年にならないとね。
I mean that's true, but I don't know if we could just excuse everything as her just being a liar, maybe.
そもそももしリーディングシュタイナーが正しいなら、あらゆる人間の記憶があんたの主観に引きずられてることになる。
Yep.
そんなの無理がありすぎる。もしそうだったら岡部は文字通り神よ。
Yeah, that's me. I'm God.
でも現実には神なんていない。
Well, what about me? I'm right here.
世界はあんたを中心に回っているわけじゃない。
Actually, I think it
あんたの
does.
脳がそう錯覚させているだけ。世界にとってあんたが神だというなら、同体積の脳を持つ私も世界にとって神になれるわけで。
Just as big as mine. Yours is probably bigger. Much bigger,
何
probably.
が言いたいんだ。
仮に岡部の主観が私が死ぬ世界線を選んだとして、私の主観も同じように私が死ぬ世界線を選ぶとは限らない。それは私の主観がここに存在していることからもわかる。すでにこの世界線は私が死なない世界線なわけだから。あんたの主観がベータ世界線に行ってしまっても、私の主観はここに留まることだってできるのかもしれない。
Okay.
精神はどこにあるかって話。そして私は私の精神をあんたの好きにさせたくない。
Even if your perspective shifts to the beta war line, my perspective might remain here. Okay, yes.
科学者とは思えないほどのファンタジーな理論だ。
でも可能性はゼロじゃない。
It also means that all the timelines where I do some fucked up shit on that timeline and the bad endings for Steins Gate, those are also probably still existing too. Let's not worry about that though.
だからあんたは何も心配する必要はない。
Chris, who smiles. How could she smile? I just told her that she's going to die.
私を見殺しにできないって言って悩んでるのよね。でも今の私の仮説で言えば、私は別の可能性世界線で生き続けていける。
I think another important thing to keep in mind with all of this too, going towards Kurisu's point of like, how do we know there's not parallel world lines, is CERN in the future controls time. Would they not be able to shift the world lines in their favor all the time? Would the world line not be changing and we would notice it constantly from our perspective? Or have they just decided we control time in the future now, so we don't gotta change this anymore? I don't, like... there are other people in the future that have the access to time travel machines and devices and can change these things up. Like, us sending the D-mail, technically we're not the ones that made the time-based change. Well, technically we are because we started the chain events. But it's really CERN that did a bunch of changes, and Suzuha that did some changes that got us to here as a result of our initial D-mail. But it was all them that were doing the changes. But like... And reading Steiner goes into effect even if that happens. Or if somebody else sends a D-mail to the phone wave, like Moika or something. Like, we notice the change happening. So I have to imagine in the future, you know, frickin' CERN is probably able to make changes all the time. And we would have noticed that. I just think it's weird that the future overlords are just kind of chilling and not really doing anything.
だからそもそも岡部は悩む必要なんてない。
仮説は仮説だ。
アトラクタフィールド理論だって仮説。
It's just a hypothesis, same as that's true.
まだ誰にも何も証明されてないから。2036年時点では証明されていたとしても、その証明を今の私たちは確認できないから。
Whoever proved it then probably doesn't have, like, might not have been able to... Listen, okay? A theory may be proven, but if new information comes to light, new additional information could be added to it, and it will change the perspective of what's been proven, perhaps. I don't know.
そう考えれば、未来の可能性は無限よ。
The future's possibilities are endless. Kusu turns her back to me after finishing. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could quite possibly render meaningless everything I've done up to now. Yeah, probably. How can Kurusu stay so calm? By the way, this line right here is trying to go into why the author is saying that the attractor fields mean that there are no parallel active world lines, and why people got upset with me for saying that there probably are. Like, they got upset with me because they're like, oh, actually in the lore it says there's only one active world line. It's like, okay, yeah, but like, but like, I don't know if that makes sense when you think it out. The only reason why it really is like that is like a solidified lore thing is just because that the author didn't want, and like the people in my comments were also just like, they would mean that all his choices meant nothing because all the other world lines still exist. You know, it's like, well, reading Steiner was the narrative tool that kind of ignores all of that anyways. So, like, he's only following his perspective of, like, mostly his changes because of reading Steiner for narrative purposes. So, like, for him, it doesn't fucking matter, but lore-wise, this could all still be happening. But, like, it's like a subjective fucking reality thing. Right? If you make a time-based change, and you know it will save someone you know's life, but you don't get to see it yourself, you just know you've created a timeline where that person lives. Was that really meaningless? Because you don't get to experience it in your world line? Or does it have meaning because you accomplished it in a different world line? Like, these are the things. For most people, they'll say it's meaningless because you don't get to experience the change, so what's the point? But, I mean, it's a thought that's important here. I don't know. How can Kurisu stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl.
ちなみに心配なんかしてくれなくてもいいから。岡部にそんなことされたら結構プライド傷つく。
そんな言い方。
Well, I'm getting a call. What happens if I don't answer it? Oh, it's Mayuri.
出てあげなさいよ。なんで私に遠慮してるんだよ。
The ringtone cuts off during my hesitation.
めめしいな。はっきり言ってがっかり。
No, I'm talking to you.
お前は俺に殺されてもいいっていうのか。
今の私の話
聞いていたが。
An email interrupts me. I don't want to argue with Kurisu anymore, so I open my phone to break the conversation. Mayuri, worried? Question mark. Mayushi here. Hey, Okarin. Is something bothering you? You've been looking kind of sad lately. You want to talk about it? Or is it something that you can't tell Mayushi about? That would make me sad. If you feel like Mayushi's being a burden, then I want you to tell me, okay?
あいつ何が重荷だよ。勝手に自分を責めやがって。ふざけるなよ、くそ。いつもは空気を読めないくせに。なんでこういう時だけ。
重荷ね。
俺は一度だってマユリを重荷に感じたことはない。
だったらそれをはっきり言ってあげればいい。
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to leave Mayuri in the dark. She never looks like she's thinking about anything, and yet she saw my doubt? Either way, I can't tell her the truth.
岡部。
Kurisu sighs, then glares
こ
at
れ
me.
までのあんたなら悩んだりしなかったはず。とりあえずマユリに会いに行くべき。あの子だっていろいろ思うところがあるんだろうし。
She's right. Even if I don't tell Mayuri the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone my decision and go see Mayuri. It's afternoon on the first day of Kamima, and the crowds are finally beginning to thin out. Of course, the industry booths and cosplay area are still packed, but at least I don't have to wait in line to get in. I've been trying to get in touch with Mayuri for a while now, but she hasn't responded. I checked with Daru, but he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 p.m. I focus on searching the cosplay area until then, but I still can't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. I tried calling her home, no luck. They haven't seen her since she left this morning. Where is she? I'm always afraid that she'll disappear the second I take my eyes off her. It's been like that ever since she lost her grandmother. Maybe it's just my imagination. I've been so close for so long. I saw Mayuri at her weakest and most vulnerable. Maybe that has made me overprotective. But I don't care how other people see us. I just can't leave Mayuri alone. I step into the cemetery, the final resting place of Mayuri's beloved grandmother. When was the last time I came here? For about a year after Mayuri became my hostage, I'd periodically accompany her here. But I don't think I've been here since I entered high school. It's been about 3 or 4 years. As I get closer to Mayuri's grandmother's grave, I begin to hear a voice. It's Mayuri. I'd recognize her voice anywhere. Sounds like she's talking to someone. I approach quietly.
ねえ、おばあちゃん。
Mayuri is crouched down, talking to the grave. What a relief, she hasn't disappeared. I decide to watch silently from a short distance away.
最近ね、怖い夢をよく見るんだ。
Oh, there we go. Hold on. Hold. 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 Are you holding? Okay, we're good. Everything's daijoubu. Don't worry. Don't mind. Well, everything's not fine for our situation here in Steins Gate, but listen. For a second, I wonder if she's learned to commune with the dead, but no, she's just talking to herself.
その夢の中ではね、いつもマユシーはひどい目に遭うの。ピストルでバーンって撃たれたり、車の事故に巻き込まれたり、電車にひかれたり。
I'm just imagining tiny fucking sweet cosplay lady just having constant nightmares of getting murdered over and over for like several nights or like 2 weeks straight.
まるで本当のことみたいで、すごく痛くて、すごく悲しくて、誰か助けてって一生懸命声を出そうとするけど出せなくて、どうしてそんな夢見るのかな。
Does she remember her deaths? All of them? Is she inheriting memories like I do?
でね、その夢の最後はいつも決まってるの。マユシーが泣いてるとね、オカリンが助けに来てくれるんだ。
Fuck.
マユシーはオカリンにありがとう、ありがとうって言うんだけど、その声もオカリンには聞こえてなくて、オカリンはマユシーを抱きしめてとっても悲しそうな顔をしてた。泣いちゃいそうだけど絶対に泣かなくてね。でも一生懸命我慢してるのがわかるの。
Come to think of it, both Ferris and Lukako remembered their memories from before the past changed. I used to think that memories couldn't be shared between world lines. I used to think that I was the exception with reading Steiner. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe everyone has the same power, and the only difference is how strong it is. Maybe reading Steiner is nothing special after all.
だからマユシーも悲しくなってごめんね、ごめんねって言うけど、やっぱり声は届かなくて、そこでいつも目が覚めるんだ。どうしてこんな夢見るのかな。
I failed so many times to save her. I've watched her die again and again. Everything I've done has been to prevent that from happening. And yet, have the memories of those deaths been tormenting her as she sleeps? I bite my lip in frustration. I still have a terrible decision to make. Do I save Mayuri or do I save Kurisu? There's no perfect ending here. I can't save them both. It's one or the other. If I choose Kurisu, then Mayuri's dreams will become reality. I don't want Mayuri to feel any pain. Until now, I've thought only of saving her. That is my goal. But at the same time, I can't let Kurisu die. Again, my thoughts hit the same dead end. Mayuri hasn't noticed me yet. She's still staring at the sky, just as she was on the day I took her hostage. She's talking to her grandmother in heaven.
そうそう。あのね、最近ラボ面がすごく増えたんだよ。
Fuck.
クリスちゃんでしょ、萌香さん、ルカ君、フェリスちゃん、それともう引っ越しちゃっていないけど、すずさん。8人だよ。すごいね。
On this world line, they all became lab mems. However, not a single one of them has sent a D-mail.
最初はオカリンとマユシーの2人だけだったのにね。ラボができたばっかりの頃はね、オカリンはあんまり面白そうじゃなかったけど、最近はね、とっても楽しそうなんだよ。
Is that how she sees it? Well, she's not wrong. She really does know me, doesn't she?
そんなオカリンを見てるとね、マユシーも嬉しくなって、それにね、賑やかだとウキウキしてくるし、特にクリスちゃんはね、アメリカの有名な本に論文が載ったりして、
That's true.
とっても頭がいいんだよ。
She's very, 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 very smart.
マユシーは憧れちゃうのです。タイムマシンだって作っちゃうぐらいなんだから。あ、これはオカリンとダル君
I guess we helped
作
too.
ってたけどね。
Kudisu made a time for she, but I guess we were also there. Then Mayuri falls silent. Her gaze becomes distant. She stands still and looks up to the sky. What could she be
で
thinking?
もね、たまに思うんだ。最初、マユシーが押しかけて、ラボに二人きりだった時のこと。学校が終わってラボに行くとね、オカリンはいないの。でね、お部屋の片付けしたり、可愛い小物を飾り付けたりしてるうちに、オカリンが少し遅れてやってきて、マユシーがおかえりって言うと、オカリンはただいまとは言わなくて、ご苦労って偉そうに答えてた。
Good work.
その後は毎日2時間ぐらい2人でぼんやり過ごして、一緒に電車でお家に帰るの。その2時間はね、会話なんてほとんどなくて、でも嫌な沈黙とかじゃなくて、ただそこにいるっていう感じで。2人で並んでソファーに座って、オカリンはラボの作戦計画書みたいなのを書いて
Read
て、
manga?
マユシーは漫画読んだりゲームしたりして、たまに思い出したようにね、
Snack?
一緒にお菓子を食べてた。とて
We
も
got snack time?
優しく時間が流れてて、それでもいいかななんて思ったり、まるでマユシーは本当に人質になっちゃったみたいだなとかふと思って、一人でえへへって笑ったり。オカリンはニコニコしてるマユシーを見てね、こういうの。
I remember. It was 4 months ago, still spring. The lab wasn't as lively as it is now. It was an isolated bubble of slow-moving time.
何かいいことでもあったのか？
あのね、いいことはなかったけど、
Not really, but I guess.
そうか。幻想を見たのだな。
Illusion
それはも
conductor?
しかすると
That does
機関
sound
の
scary.
幹部の一人、
You gotta watch out for
通
that.
称
That seems like something out of
イ
Boogie
リュージョンコンダクターから
Pop.
の攻撃である可能性がある。
そっか、じゃあ気をつけなきゃ。でもね、
Illusion Kid Hugger? That's a very
イリュージョン
different,
コダクさんっていう人は
This is a very different enemy.
コンダクターだ。
その人はきっと悪い人じゃないと思うな。
It was nothing, just meaningless chatter to pass the time.
それはマヨシーにはすごく心地よくて、なんだか泣きそうなくらい嬉しくて、このままずっと続いてほしいなって思ってた。あ、今の賑やかさが嫌ってわけじゃないんだよ。
Mayuri shakes her head in denial. Finally, she stops looking up at the sky and bows her head instead.
最近ね、オカリンと話す時間
Fuck.
ちょっと減っちゃった。
We're busy trying to save your life. Please.
だからね、マヨシーは寂しくなっちゃったのかもしれないね。
Okay, but you're alive so far. It's true. I haven't had time to talk to her lately. Well, that's because I've been fighting to prevent her death. To keep her dreams from coming true. Also, Mayuri will keep smiling. I never again want to see her cry like she did on the day her grandmother died.
でもね、オカリンの重荷にはなりたくないんだ。
That word again. Burden. I've never thought of her as a burden.
マヨシーはいつもいつも
Not
オ
true!
カリンに
Stop
迷
saying
惑
that.
かけてばっかりだから。ね、おばあちゃん。
Mayuri lifts her face once more.
いつまでもこのままじゃいられないよね。
このままでいい。
Jump scare. When I finally speak to Mayuri, she turns my way with a surprised expression. Her face is so soft, so innocent. Slowly, her lips curve into a smile.
オカリンだ
Hi, that's me.
ー。すごいね。どうしてここにいるってわかったの？
I looked literally everywhere else.
俺は常に把握しているのだ。
We got you air
人
tagged.
質。
だからお前は俺の手からは逃れられん。絶対
Not
にだ。
ever.
そっか。
Haha,
でも
yay!
ね、あんまり無理したらダメだよ。マユシーはね、ちょっぴり心配なのです。
お前に心配されるほどこの法王院京馬はヤワではないのだ。
I don't need your concern.
話せる時が来たら全て話す。
Oh,
だからそれまでお前は
I'm handling it,
何も変
okay?
わらずにいてくれ。
I'm handling it, Mayuri. Mayuri stands up and turns to the grave once more. As an offering, she leaves a brand new white lily as well as some dango dumplings. We know dango.
オカリン、帰ろう。
帰る前に団子を食べるんだろ。
Dango. Shouldn't we get some dango for ourselves? Back when we used to visit the cemetery together, it was part of our daily routine to eat dango on the way back.
もちろんだよ。
By the way, I didn't have it auto-playing up until now. Akiba is empty again today. The Yotaka have all made the exodus to Kamima for the second day of battle. I'm trying out the I can turn off auto for now while I yap or whatever. I was trying out the auto thing so that I don't like miss the voice line timing things, and it worked out pretty well. It was pretty fast, and I was able to read the things still. So I'll probably keep trying to do that. When come nightfall, they will return to Akiba like a victorious army laden with spoils, and the streets will be chaos. I gotta wait for the first one, and then after that it'll be fine. I know Dara has gone to Kamima. The question is, has Mayuri? I hope she has. I want things to be normal again. I remember what I heard yesterday. The feelings Mayuri expressed at her grandmother's grave. The events of the last few weeks have affected her as well. After I escorted Mayuri home from the cemetery, I spent the whole night racking my brain for a third option, a way out of this mess. My thoughts were a jumble, ideas coming and going, too fast to judge which were right and which were wrong. But of course, there isn't a right choice here. For in the end, it always comes back to the same question. Who do I let die? I don't know, flip a coin? And no matter how I try to dance around it, the answer is always the same. I can't choose. Is there no one else who can make this decision? Honestly, I think if I were in Okabe's shoes, like, it sucks. But on top of all of the cons that we get for living in this attractor field world line, I think the biggest thing for me is that this isn't where we originally came from. We're originally from the timeline where we see Kurisu dead. We should go back to that just for that fact alone, probably. I think. As much as it sucks, though, because, like, I love Kurisu, man. I don't want to see her die either, but, like, I don't know. You know, all that stuff, and I just think to myself, like, that's where we're from, so I think it's only fair that we go back to that anyways. But also, you know, Kurisu was making good points, too, when we talked to her about it. I mean, if you're really having trouble with it, you could just flip a coin. Let fate decide like that. Is there no one else who can make this decision? No, even if there were, I know I'd never accept their choice, whichever it happened to be. Well then, fuck, bro. What do you want to do? Once again, I'm heading for the roof of Radicon. And to get out of the lab, Mayuri or Kurisu might return at any moment, and I can't face them now. Yeah, we have to actually confront Kurisu and get her to, like, open up about shit. I look up at the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy. It could start raining any minute now. It is currently raining where I'm at, by the way. I thought that I was alone, but someone was here before me. Kurisu is lying in the middle of the roof, arms and legs spread as if making a snow angel. She's like, damn, bro. The image of Kurisu in a pool of blood flashes through my mind. Is she alright? I run towards her, but before I make it halfway, she suddenly sits up and turns to face me. What a dumb thing to say. Fortunately, it looks like Kurisu didn't hear me. She's busy combing her disheveled hair with her fingers. You just slept up here? I breathe a silent sigh of relief.
そっか。ここだとあんたと会っちゃう可能性があること。忘れてた。
何をしていたんだ？
考え事。
Doing a little thinking.
そうか。
Yeah. Was she thinking about her death? She was pondering. Let her ponder. I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. Kurisu appears to be in the same boat. She's staring at the capsule toy dispenser in the corner, her face wearing the usual frown. The awkward silence drags on. When you think about it, Kurisu's fate rests in my hands. My decision will determine whether she lives or dies. Her fantastic hypothesis yesterday was a desperate attempt to construct a scenario where she doesn't die. Even if she believes that her theory is correct, it must be difficult for her to avoid imagining her own death. I force a smile. I'm getting really uncomfortable here.
邪魔になっているようだから、俺はもう行く。
Damn, I was expecting a sarcastic remark like, since when do mad scientists have manners or something? Just then, something cold lands on the tip of my tongue. Tongue? Nose. Very different organ. part of the body. When I look up, raindrops start landing on my forehead. An evening shower. It's only going to get more intense and quickly. Kurisu hasn't moved a muscle. She's just standing there with her arms folded, staring at the ground as if she doesn't notice the rain at all. Man.
Oi. 雨が降ってきてるぞ。
Oh yeah. She's acting strange, like her mind is elsewhere. I knew it. She's been thinking about... In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. We had no time to seek shelter. Kurisu's scream is drowned out by the roar of the rain.
びっくり。
夕立を甘く見たな。
Now safely inside the building, we take a moment to catch our breath. It's been a week since Suzuha's time machine disappeared, but Radicon is still closed. The lights are off, and it's pretty dark inside.
もっと早く忠告してよ。おかげで下着までびしょ濡れじゃない。
It ain't my fault.
右に同じく。この暗さに助けられたな。
This darkness has become your
どう
salvation.
いう意味？
もしラジカンが営業していたら、今
Oh
のお
my
前の
God.
あれもない姿が多くの人
Okabe.
間の前にあらわにされていただろう。
Even in the dim light, I can tell that Kurisu is scrambling to cover her chest. Oh my god.
あんたも変態だってこと。忘れてた。
自分から下着までびしょ濡れだと申告しておいて。
That is true. She did do that for some reason.
これ以上口聞かないで。下着の色とかよくも妄想したな。許さないから。
I wasn't. Why are you saying
妄
these
想など
things?
してない。
She's too self-conscious. But the color of her underwear, huh? See? We weren't even thinking about it before, and then you brought it up. Gotta be white. God damn it. Also true.
冷えるか。
だから脱いで乾かせって。ふざけないで。
We literally
わかるもんか。
didn't say anything.
誰もそんなこと言っ
Why
てな
are
い
you
だろ。
thinking about all this shit,
落ち着
Kurisu?
け。ま、
Cute.
たとえ服を脱いだとしても、この暗さだから案ずることはない。
Okabe.
お前の
Buddy.
貧相なヌード姿は誰にも見られることは。
それ以上喋ると、あんたの大脳新皮質をポ
My
ン酢につけ
cerebral
て、
neocortex.
給料亭で
Ponzu
してやる
sauce?
んだから。
Holy shit.
すまん。
Please spare me that horror. Still, these wisecracks are a welcome distraction. Not my cerebral neocortex. Cortex?
そ
Crotex?
れまで持つか。
I see Kurisu's shadowy form move to sit on the staircase. I sit next to her.
なんで横に。
Get your own stair.
なんで。
I'm just
喋る
sitting.
なと言ったのはお前だ。
Yeah, you told me to shut up. What do you want from me?
近くに。
So
今ぐらい
demanding.
の距離が限界だから。これ以上離れるとは言わないけど、
I wasn't
こ
doing
れ以上近づい
anything.
たら押し返すからな。
I'm just sitting here. Our bodies gradually grow cold. We start shivering. Maybe I should take off my wet clothes. But if I do that, Kurisu will just call me a perv again. She's gonna do that even if you're breathing, so better not. My eyes gradually adjust to the darkness. Hey, it's this CG. The one that I've seen on like people's wallpapers. I should make this my wallpaper actually. It's a very, very cool CG. I can see Kurisu more clearly now. She's huddled up against the wall.
こっち見んな。
バカな。この暗さでは 俺がどこを見ているかなどわからないはず。
Does she have infravision?
やっぱり見てたのか？
No. No. Damn, she used a leading question on me. That's such a high-level technique. I avert my eyes from Kurisu and take off my lab coat. That's why I notice my coat is torn at the shoulder.
屋上から避難した時にどこかに引っ掛けたか？
何の話？
いや、上着の肩口が破れかけていた。
岡部ってドジっ子だったの？
俺はマッドサイエンティスト属性であって。
I'm a mad scientist. I don't have time for that shit. I bear the curse of insanity, not clumsiness. Seems like forever since I've talked to Kurisu as Hoin Kyoma.
はいはい。
Kurisu suddenly holds out her hand. This is one of those scenes that always stands out to me, that I always remember. It is a very, very cute scene between these two, given the circumstances.
ほら、貸しなさいよ。
何？
ちょうどソーイングセット持ってるから。
You happen to have a sewing kit with me? You having to have a sewing kit?
セットだと？
It's just a thing some people do. They just always have a sewing kit on them. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, I guess not. It worked here. It just didn't seem like you had like any bag or anything.
このくせにそんな家庭的なものを？
Like
実験大好きっ子であると同時に家庭的な女の子かもしれないじゃん。
I'm just confused. What? You're not like wearing a bag? You don't have like a purse or anything? You just got a whole sewing kit in your like back pocket? Can't that be a domestic experiment loving girl? I mean, you're allowed. You domestic?
相対的に見れば家庭的かもね。と言っても日本の女子高生の家庭的女の子指数がどれくらいか知らないけど。
Some people carry a knife with them at all times, and some people carry a sewing kit at all times. Oh, okay. I don't know the domesticity index for Japanese high school girls these days. What? Okay. There's an index for that? First I've heard of it. Kurisu skillfully threads the needle despite the darkness.
濡れてるから針が通りにくいな。
本当に偶然持っていたのか？
しつこい。そんなに私がソーイングセット持ってたら悪いの？
I just didn't know where you got it from.
悪いとは言っていないが。
It does seem like you planned for
まるで願ったかの
this.
ようだったからな。
つまりあんたが服を破ってしまうのを見越してあらかじめ用意していたって言ってもらいたいんですね。わかります。そんなわけあるか。
Kind of feels like it, yeah.
勘違いしないでほしいんだけど、別に好きで縫ってあげてるわけじゃないんだからね。
It's like she noticed like days ago that our jacket's been ripped and she's been like itching to like fix it but hasn't like brought it up to us until now.
出たな、ツンデレセリフ。
Nice tsundere line.
茶化すな。あんたが偶然服を破って私は偶然ソーイングセットを持っていた。
Oh, it's a
だから縫ってあげている。
coincidence. Okay.
それだけ。
Sure.
偶然ねえ、まさかお前タイムリープしている。
she time leaped just to fix our jacket, of course.
つまりあんたが服を破ってしまったからタイムリープして、
Yeah.
事前にソーイングセットを用意した。
Maybe.
言ってもらいたいんですね。
It's not impossible.
そんなわけあるか、そんなわけあるか。大事なことなので2回言いました。アンダースタン？
Understand?
確かに。わざわざタイムリープして対策を練るならば、ソーイングセットではなくタオルを用意しておくのが先だからな。
何それ？
This is where Kurisu time leaps back. It's like, oh fuck, he's right. And then we get a towel. What do you mean? I have a towel right here.
皮肉？文句ばっかり。
After working for a while, Kurisu cuts the string with her teeth, then hands me back my coat.
ほら、
ありがとう。
She's got the sewing set on her at all times, not a knife or something to cut it.
出来については暗くて確認できないけど、もし仮に出来が悪くても
Turns
私の
out
腕の
bad,
せい
it's
じゃ
not
な
my
い。
fault.
この
Oh, this towel? It's always been here, of course.
ちなみに糸の色につい
She
ても
she stops to
何が
answer her
出るか
phone
お
real
楽しみ
quick.
に。
Oh yeah, this towel. I forgot about this towel. What do you mean phone call? What phone call? What are you talking about? Oh, and I hope you like the color because I have no idea which thread I used. Oh, sweet.
色もランダムなのか。
黒か赤かピンク。
Black,
確率
red,
は3分の
or
1。
pink.
せめてピンクが出ないように祈ろう。
What's wrong with pink? Bless you.
寒いか。
まあね。
俺の上着を羽織るか。
それだって濡れてる。
まあ、そうだ。
Silence again. Words flow so naturally when it's just harmless banter, but 1 second of silence and suddenly we have nothing to say. It must be because of what happened yesterday. I'm so desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what?
結論は出た。
Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly. But I can hear her clearly in the silence of the empty stairwell. I look at Kudisu. She's hugging her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's why I can't answer.
まだ悩んでるの？あんたってまゆりのこと好きなんでしょ？
何？
Where did that come from? Kursu keeps staring into the darkness.
ただの錯覚かもしれないけど、私の心の中に奇妙な記憶というかデジャブみたいなものがある。そこではあんたはまゆりを助けようと必死になってて、一人で傷つきながらそれでも前に突き進もうとしてるの。
Kudisu too?
そんな岡部が私に相談をしてきて、そのひたむきに頑張ってる姿を見て、私も力になってあげたいと思ったり。って別にあんたを助けたいって思ったわけじゃないからな。私はあくまでとにかく私にはなぜかそんな錯覚が記憶のように残ってる。
Everybody got Rita Steiner. Rita Steiner's nothing special, okay? So, Kudisu's the same. Kudisu's the same. She still has faint memories from previous world
自己分
lines.
析してみたけど、夢で見たものを現実と思い込んでるのか、単なる願望か、それぐらいの結論しか。
It depends what you see.
ただこれだけははっきりしてる。
What's that?
あんたは迷い
God
を助
damn
け
it.
るべきなのよ。
怖くないのか。
We're going the self-sacrifice route. To save Mayuri, I must undo the current world line. If I do that, Kudisu will die.
なんだか廃墟に迷い込んだみたい。
Kudisu suddenly changes the subject. She looks around the dark, empty stairwell. Feels like we're trapped in an ancient ruin. Okay.
まるで世界中の電源が切られて、
Okay. Hold. 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 Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Okay. There we go. What did we say here? Okay, you know, it feels like we're trapped in an ancient ruin. Like the world ended.
私たちだけ取り残されたみたい。 ふと思うんだ。もしあんたがベータ世界線に行ったとする。みんなも一斉にそっちに移動するとしたら、私だけは移動できない。私だけが取り残される。そうしたら世界中がこの場所みたいになっちゃうのかな。所詮これも仮説の一つだけど。
That's just a theory. A game theory. I need to say it.
お前も救う。マユリだけじゃなくてお前も。
できもしないこと言わなくていい。
Kurisu cuts me off sharply and buries her face in her knees.
怖くないかってさっき聞いた。怖いに決まってるでしょ。自分が消えるかもしれない。自分だけが取り残されるかもしれない。あるいはあんただけがこの世界線からいなくなるかもしれない。誰もあんたがいなくなったことを認識してない世界がずっと続いていって、私は
Back to America as if nothing happened.
アメリカに帰るかもしれない。かもしれない。かもしれない。かもしれない。そんないろんな可能性を考えて、その度に絶望的な気分になる。でも
Kurisu raises her head and spears me with her glare.
だからマユリを見殺しにしろなんて言えると思う？
クリス。
もうなんか寒いな。
Oh, hold on. Hold. Hold. Okay. Oh. There we go. Okay. What we got here? This. Boom.
濡れてる。
Okay. Jesus, it's cold. Kurisu grabs her own arms. In the darkness, I see her shoulders shaking.
服着てる青年。たく。こんなの全然論理的じゃない。仮説にすらなってない。全部根拠のない妄想。こんなしょうもない妄想を垂れ流す脳の機能をカットしてやりたい。
Want to cut open my skull and excise the part of my brain that comes up with these delusions? Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Kurisu has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I admired her for that. I thought she was facing this calmly, too. But I was wrong. Behind her cool facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge that her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting that fear all alone, and now it has finally come to surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she might be, she's just an 18-year-old girl. Kurisu abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sound of rain pounding on the roof.
聞いて、岡部。
Yeah, what's up? What do you got?
両方救うのは無理。そうでしょ。
As far as Okabe knows, he kind of didn't really try. We just kind of assumed that it's fucked.
どうあがいたって確率は2分の1なの。
I literally haven't tried yet.
だが
He's just kind of assuming that he can't.
だがじゃない。私の結論は変わらない。マユリを助けて。
I hear the pain in her voice and also the resolve. Kurisu has made up her mind. I look away and clench my fist. My nails dig into the palms of my hands.
そう簡単に諦めろっていうのか。
By the way, just to
お前を
to make
見捨
this
てろっていうのか。
just to make this clear, okay? Kurisu's being self-sacrificing about this, okay? Kurisu, very, very sweet, okay? However, if Okabe brought the same scenario over to Mayuri, Mayuri would also say to sacrifice her and let Kurisu live. So, like, Like, are we really just gonna let this decision be decided by the first person we walk up to that decides to self-sacrifice? Like both of these girls would say, save the other one, not me. We're not really, like, doesn't help the decision for me, I don't think. Are you telling me to give up, to abandon you?
そんなのできるはずがないだろう。
できるかできないかじゃない。あんたをやらなくちゃいけない。それしか道はない。
ダメだ。お前は俺たちの大切な仲間だ。
岡で。
Kurusu drops to her knees and grabs me by the collar. I gasp for breath as she stares into my eyes. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare. Which, by the way, I like the sprite when she glares at me, by the way. It's very nice.
他に解決策があるの？ないんでしょ。
I also like this sprite too. I just like all of Kurusu's sprites and expressions, honestly. They're just great.
私はマユリを犠牲にしてまで生きていたくない。もし
Are you the kind of woman that would actually kill you?
Did she threaten to kill me? She's just glaring at me. She's just glaring at me and threatening my neocortex. This can't be happening. I hate this choice with no right answer. I hate the world for being so cruel. And most of all, I hate myself for forcing Kurusu to speak these words when she's the one with the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Kurusu as she holds me by the collar and tightly embrace her slender body. Oh, fuck. Her clothes are still wet from the rain, and all I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being.
お前はここにいるのにこんなのあんまりだ。
Tension drains from her back and her hands. She gives her whole body over to my embrace.
ありがとう。私のためにそこまで苦しんでくれて。でももう十分。私は大丈夫だから。あとはマユリのことだけ。
Why don't we just,
考えて。
you know, get Kurusu, get Mayuri, get them both in the same room, explain the situation fully to Mayuri, and let the council decide what is to be their fate. Let the girls self-sacrifice together and determine who should live or die as a family, instead of deciding for Mayuri, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that helps the decision. I don't know. I feel like the bigger issue is that we've tried literally nothing yet to attempt to save both of them here. We've just made all these assumptions about the current state of everything, and we're not even considering to try other things. We're not even trying. We have a time machine. We can just keep doing them over and over again. Why aren't we trying these things? But you've done enough. I'm fine. So just think about Mayuri, okay? Despite her fear, Kurusu has made her choice. It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide, here and now, future of the world, which friend to let die. Holding Kurusu tightly, I whisper into her ear.
すまない。
I guess here is probably where, if we have reached enough of the flags we had to set earlier in the game, where we would go into Kurusu's ending. But because we didn't go into a different chapter, we're still in the Mayuri ending, I believe is what's happening. A meaningless apology.
俺はマユリだけはどうしても救いたいから。
These words are a death sentence, but I force myself to speak them. It takes every ounce of willpower I possess.
お前を けられない。
When I finish, I feel as if a great weight has left my shoulders. And at the same time, as if 1,000 needles are stabbing into my heart. Kurisu weakly returns my embrace. Then she lets go and stands up.
さてと。
There's already a look of relief on her face.
先に帰る。
帰るって、どこへ？
To America?
ラボに決まってるでしょ。服を乾かさない
I
と。
gotta dry my clothes,
シャワーも浴び
dummy.
たいし。
Taking a shower, buddy. In that case, we should go back together. Well, before I can suggest it, Kurisu beats me to the punch, as if she read my mind.
あんたはそこでずぶ濡れのまましばらく待ってて。
Damn. You fucking stay here. You stay here. Can't go back together. That's her verdict. She decided it.
わかった。
Let her be alone. I hang my head and shut my eyes. Kurisu's footsteps fade into the distance. I think we had this kind of feeling with a different ending as well. I think it was Lukako's ending, where a lot of Lukako's ending was just focused on Mayuri for the Lukako ending. But for this, it's, you know, the Mayuri ending, which is mostly focusing on Kurisu. I wrap my arms around my body. Even though it's summer and sweltering hot, I can't stop my body from shaking. At least here it makes more sense. In the Lukako ending, I was like, I understand why this is the bad end choice for that, but like also, like there's a lot of focus on Mayuri at the end of that, I think, as opposed to Lukako. I don't know. I mean, I guess it also makes sense, but here it makes more direct sense, I guess. I realize that part of me is relieved that Kurisu left alone. At least I won't have to face her again, to look upon the face of the girl I chose to die. I'm a coward. My self-loathing echoes in the darkness. I got a mail? Assistant, see you. Cease the inquiry. Cease to inquire what the future has in store, and take as a gift whatever the day brings forth. Horace, Italian philosopher. I'm going back to my hotel. Do what needs to be done. Good night. Alright. I wait about 2 hours before returning to the lab. Kurisu is already gone when I get there. All she left is a single email. I sit down on the sofa while drying my hair with a towel. I look toward the PC in the corner of the room. It's already connected to the IBM 5100, ready for Daru to start hacking. I already got in contact with him. The hacking starts tomorrow at noon. I drove myself even further into a corner by telling that to Daru. Now I can't turn back no matter how much I want to. I chose Mayuri. I will let Kurisu die. Showering doesn't soften the retching pain in my heart. In truth, I'm just riding on Kurisu's resolve. Mine is still a flimsy thing. I can't help but wonder, is this really okay? Really?
誰かいますか？
Mayuri opens the door and enters. For a moment, after she catches sight of me, she looks ready to burst into tears. Well, that quickly gives way to a smile.
オカリンだ。
Yeah, that's me.
どうした？
What's up?
なんとなく来てみたの。
I swallow hard. Maybe I should explain the situation to Mayuri. Probably. But I know she'll feel guilty if I tell her. Mayuri doesn't need to know. Everything will be okay as long as we crack CERN's database and reach the beta world line.
最近ね、オカリンと話す時間ちょっと減っちゃった。でもね、 オカリンの重荷にはなりたくないんだ。
Can I really let it end like this? Shouldn't I tell her what Kurisu is sacrificing for her sake?
もしかしてシャワー浴びてたの？
Mayuri moves behind the sofa, grabs the bath towel from my head, or on my head, and starts rubbing my hair dry.
オカリン、シャンプーのいい匂いがするね。
I don't mind the towel so much, but then she buries her nose into my hair and starts sniffing. Okay, well, that's a little...
やめんか。
I jerk my head away. Mayuri goes back to drying my hair.
今日ね、コミマ行かなかったよ。
なぜだ？
オカリンのこと気になっちゃったのです。
Aww.
オカリンの辛そうな顔を思い出したらね、コミマを楽しんでなんかいられないなって。
Don't let that affect you.
だ
Fuck.
から有明まで行ったけど、
God damn it.
行かせずに帰ってきたの。
Turn on the time leap machine. We gotta go back. We gotta go back, not let her see our face so that she can have a fun time at Kamima, okay? Should I tell her? Or should I keep her in the dark? You should tell her. And then if it goes real bad, then you go back and you don't tell her.
ちょっと減っちゃった。だからね。
マユリ、もし俺が
How would you feel, hypothetically, if I was keeping a secret from you?
って言ったら
Hypothetically speaking, of course.
どう思う？
実はオカリンとクリスちゃんは付き合っていま
What?
す。
How did you know? I mean, what?
びっくりなこと。
なぜそうなる？
でもね、オカリンとクリスちゃんはとっても仲がいいでしょ。
So true,
二人は
Mayushi.
お似合いだと思うな。
So true.
そんな話をしている
But
ん
can
じ
we
ゃない
not call her Christian? I think we need to
あ
work on that one. Nothing like that.
全部話してほしいなんて思ってないよ。人質だからね。どっちかっていうと何にも教えてもらえないのが普通だもん。
そんな話をしているんじゃないんだ。
Mayuri's hand leaves my head. I look over my shoulder in a panic, thinking she wandered off again. She's there. I grab her hand, perhaps more forcefully than I meant to.
マユシーはオカリンの重荷にはなりたくないよ。
Again.
だからオカリンが言ってくれるまで待つの。昨日もそう言ったよ。
一生
Wait, what happened here? Did I miss... My brain just, like, was reading things and then, like, does the thing where I just forgot everything I read. Mayuri's hand leaves my head. It's normal to keep secrets from your hostage. Mayuri doesn't want to be a burden. So I'll wait until Ocarina is ready to tell me. Okay.
言わないかもしれないぞ。
If I decide to never tell you?
それはね、とっても気になっちゃうけど。
Alright, keep your
でも
secrets.
しょうがないかな。
その隠していることがお前に関係していることでも。
マユシーに？
俺はお前を傷つけたくなくて話さないでいるんだ。
そのせいでオカリンは辛い顔してるのかな。
Yeah, pretty much.
だったらね、話してほしいな。オカリンが辛そうなの見たくないもん。
Don't three-mouth at me
それでお前は
like that right now.
傷ついてもいいっていうのか。
Mayuri replies with a gentle smile. Fuck. It's over, bro. She nods without any hesitation. Her smile is so sincere, it strikes me speechless. It's not our fault that the internet remembers the wrong Chris Chan better. Listen,
昨日
We gotta go
もさ
back.
っ
We
き
gotta
も
alter
言
the
ったよ。
timeline.
マユシーはオカリンの重荷になりたくないって。あのね、マユシーがおばあちゃんのことで苦しかった時、オカリンはマユシーを人質にしてくれたでしょ。だからね、もしオカリンが苦しい時はマユシーが力になってあげたいってずっと思ってたんだよ。マユシーなんかじゃちっとも役に立たないかもしれないけど。
Useful. Suddenly I remember. Mayuri is going to die tomorrow. I've been through it once before. She died protecting me, and her last words were...
やっとマユシーはオカリンの役に立てたよ。
So this is what she meant.
だからね、これ以上辛い顔しないでほしいな。
わかった。
If that's really how she feels, then I'll tell her everything. I let go of Mayuri's hand and pat the sofa beside me.
ここに座るんだ。
Mayuri does as she's told.
おやつ持ってきていい？
お前は空気が読めないな。
そうだね。
Mayuri sits up straight with her hands folded in her lap.
じゃあどうぞ。
これから話すことは全部事実だ。
Because we're just telling her everything, right? But no snacks. No snacks. Okay.
お前が見た夢とも関係している。そして俺はこの後お前のために仲間を犠牲にするつもりだ。
オカリン。
Anxiety clouds Mayuri's face, but I ignore it and take her chin in my fingers. A switch is already flipped inside of me. No, not the Chuny, not now.
せいぜい後悔するがいい。この俺、狂気のマッドサイエンティストである法院京馬が行って
She's gonna see through your Chuny bullshit too,
恐るべき所業
buddy.
の数々を聞いてな。
And so I begin, speaking as the mad scientist whose foolish experiments brought everything to ruin. I start with the first raid on the lab. I tell Mayuri how Moika killed her. Next, I tell her about Suzuha and Ferris, and Lukuko, Moika, FB, and Nae. I describe their fates in every detail. And finally, I tell her about Kudisu.
すなわち、マキセ・クリスを生贄として、俺は新たなる世界へと旅立つのだ。
Has he been tuning about it the entire time? There was a lot to explain, and Mayuri kept asking questions, desperate to understand the strange concepts I was throwing at her. Thanks to that, the conversation went longer than expected. It's already getting late.
以上が、この俺、法院京馬が考えた壮大なる計画。その名も、メイドインヘブンである。
Made in heaven. Finally, it's over. Mayuri says nothing. She's staring at her hands, which are clenched into tiny, trembling fists. She looks ready to cry any second.
そんな顔をしている。
Mayuri shakes her head and bites her lip.
オカリンもクリスちゃんも
We sure were.
苦しんでたんだね。
Yeah.
なのにマユシーはのんきにコスを作ってた。
Why, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. Hello, Fuse. How's it going?
バカみたいだよ。
Are you staying
マユ
hydrated?
シーは
Mayushi feels stupid right now. She
何
didn't
も
know
知らな
anything.
かった
She doesn't even know how to hydrate.
お前が責任を感じる必要はないのだ。全てはこの俺による計画なのだからな。幻滅したか。
All according to Keikaku.
だが俺は仲間を平気で犠牲にできる男。
Yeah, we're about to sacrifice one of the girls. This is
ベー
what
タ世界
happens.
線に行きたくないと言っても。
Sacrifice anyone to accomplish our goals.
お前には俺の人質として絶対に最後まで付き合ってもらうぞ。
Chab, how could you? With a time machine. That's how I could.
これこそがシュタインズゲートの選択なのだ。
That is the choice of Steins Gate. Mayuri ignores my performance. She gets to her feet and lurches toward the door. I quickly grab her by the wrist.
おい、どこ行く？
クリスチャンに会いに行かなきゃ。ねえオカリ、クリスチャンに会いたいよ。
This is why I was saying, bro, we have to have a council meeting with the two sacrifices, okay? Let them decide who's gonna self-sacrifice harder, alright? And then we go with whoever, you know, how that goes. They both are gonna want to self-sacrifice here, okay? So you bring the girls in, you have them figure it out, okay? There's no way I can refuse Mayuri's request. I contact Kudisu. We arranged to meet at the UPX overpass at 4:30 p.m. in the morning. I was wondering why she wanted to meet so early, but I understood once I see her. But I understand once I see her. She's dragging a large suitcase.
お見送りご苦労。
She faces us with a smile.
そのスーツケース。まさか。
ああ、そういうことよ。
帰るのか。アメリカに。
I'm either ceasing to exist or going to America. Some would say it's the same
もと
thing.
もと
Kudisu
8
nods.
月の頭には帰る予定だったんだけど、どっかのマッドサイエンティストに捕まって、
Who
予定よ
would
り
that
長め
mad
の滞在になっちゃった
scientist be? Never heard of him.
もう
Hoen
私が手伝えることもないだろうし、後腐れなくって意味でもいいでしょ。
Is she doing this for me? Or is she trying to outrun her fear? It's not my right to stop her. Even if I did, it wouldn't change anything. Today, as planned, I will crack CERN's database and move to the Beta World line. I've made my decision. Mayuri is next to me, standing still with her head hung.
マユリ、どうしたの？具合悪いの？
I gently nudge her back.
ほら、マユリ。
She takes one step, pauses for a second, then leaps onto Kudisu with a cry.
クリスチャン。
Oh, look at the two sacrifices.
どうしたの？いきなり。
マユシーはね、クリスチャンがいなくなるの。やだよ。
Kurisu hears the desperate plea in Mayuri's voice. She gives me a look that's asked, "Did you tell her?" Yeah. I silently nod.
マユシーのためなんかに消えたりしないで。ね。
マユリ。お前。
マユシーだってクリスチャンを犠牲にしてまで生きていたくないよ。
I expected Mayuri might say that. It's absolutely essential that I remain firm. I feel bad for Kurisu, but it needs to be said.
それは許されない。俺はマユリを選んだのだ。マユリには救われる義務があるのだ。
Pain stabs through my heart. By the way, the last time we made the decision for somebody else to live and somebody else to die. By the way, hold on. I just need to rewind for a second. And I need you to understand, we've made this kind of choice before with Lukako's ending. With Lukako's ending, we chose for Mayuri to die so that we could stay with Lukako. And that whole situation, was just Lukaku always feeling guilty over the fact that Mayuri is dead now. And then we eventually undid things. Or, like, just lived with it. But then it was eventually we undid it or whatever. But basically, all that it causes to happen, especially if we explain the situation to them, if they know that that's why one of them lived and the other died or whatever, it just makes the other one feel guilty the entire time. It just makes them feel guilty. The good news here is, to save Mayuri, we're jumping to a completely different timeline where she doesn't know the situation anyways. It's a little different, I guess. But we have dealt with this problem a little bit before. These words are reprehensible.
クリスはお前のために命を投げ出すという契約をこの俺と交わした。それを保護にすれば最悪がこの地を襲うだろう。
I clench my fist tight to suppress my self-loathing.
クリスの思いを無駄にするな、マユリ。
でも
ありがとう、マユリ。
Kurisu wraps her hands around Mayuri's back, returning the hug.
でも私はもう自分の中で結論を出したし、納得もしてるから。知ってる？あんたって。
何を言い出すのだ。
事実でしょ。
She gives me a mischievous smile.
だからマユリが死んだら岡部はすごく悲しむ。岡部にそんな思いさせたくないでしょ。
でもクリスちゃんがいなくなったらマユシーは悲しいよ。
そうね。会えなくなると寂しいかな。でもどうせ私は生きてたってアメリカに帰るつもりだったわけだし。だから別の世界線に行っても私はアメリカにいるものだと思えばそう大した違いはない。
Yeah, you know, when people die, they just go to America. That's all that happens. It's practically the same thing.
そういう問題じゃないもん。クリスちゃんが消えちゃうのが嫌なんだもん。ねえ、やめよう。クリスちゃんが消えることないよ。
Kurisu separates from Mayuri and gazes straight into her face.
これ以上私や岡部を困らせたらダメ。
We're like two parents talking to their child. We're like explaining why we're like explaining that like the mom is sick and is about to die to like the small child. This is like the vibe that's happening here, and it's not fun. She uses a gentle tone as if speaking to a child. See? I didn't even read that before I started saying that. And she lightly bumps Mayuri on the head.
岡部、もうマユリの手を離しちゃダメよ。
分かってる。
それじゃあ私は行くから。もう二度と岡部の顔見なくて済むと思うとせいせいするわ。
He punctuates her insult with a smile. She's so cheerful now, a far cry from the shivering girl in the dark. To see her like this breaks my heart. I'm so sorry. I repeat the words in my heart again and again, begging for forgiveness. Kurisu turns to go.
クリスちゃん、行かないで。行かないでよ。
ついてこないで。
Stay back, motherfucker. She shouts over her shoulder. Mayuri freezes.
同情なんてしないで。惨めになるだけだから。これは私が決めたことなの。マユリに何を言われたってもう揺るがない。さよならマユリ。約束よ。あんたは 幸せになりなさい。
With that, Kurisu walks away. Early morning Akihabara, well before sunrise, the trains are just starting to run. She disappears into the station, dragging her suitcase behind her alone. Mayuri falls to her knees, her face streaked with tears. As I approach, I hear her voice.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
お前が謝る必要はない。すべてはこの俺の決断だ。クリスには消えてもらう。
For I chose not to save her.
クリスを助けない。そして世界には俺が望む混沌が訪れるのだ。俺が
Chose to
許せない
bring chaos.
マユリ。ならば恨めばいい。だがそれでもお前には最後まで付き合ってもらう。俺はお前を救うためにクリスを見殺しにする。だからお前がどれだけ俺を恨もうと、俺の意見に反対しようと、もう後戻りするつもりはない。俺の
Nobody can stop me.
誰にも止められない。
Mayuri slowly stands up. Then she buries her face into my chest, just like she did to Kurisu.
おかりんの本当の気持ち聞きたいよ。
How I really feel? Mayuri looks straight up into my eyes.
おかりんが心の中で思ってることは素直な言葉で。
In my heart, I didn't know what the fuck to choose.
マユシーはね、もう
Bro, stop saying that.
なってねえよ。
Stop saying
なってるわ
that.
けないだろう。これは俺のエゴだ。俺がお前を助けたいだけだ。お前を失いたくないだけだ。
ありがとう、おかり。ありがとう。
Mayuri tries her hardest to smile through the tears. And then, once again, she buries her face into my chest.
いつも見てた怖い夢もそこに出てくるかっこいいおかりんも
But this time, I did.
夢なんかじゃなかったんだ
No,
ね。
they sure were not.
ずっとマユシーを助けよ
I
うとしてくれ
absolutely
てたんだね。
was. Yes.
おかりん、マユシーはね、おかりんのこと大好きだよ。おか
Oh.
りんがいてくれるからマユシーは毎日笑っていられるんだよ。これからもずっと一緒にいていい？
当たり前だ。
Of course. I answer Mayuri with my embrace.
そんなの当たり前だろう。一緒にいてくれないと俺が嫌だ。
あのね、マユシーは幸せになるよ。クリスちゃんと約束したから。
あ
幸せにしてください。
あ
離さないでください。
あ
Of course. I won't.
ずっと大好きでいさせてください。
あ
Of course. And then she disappears. No! Even after everything, she's fucking gone! The radiance of the sun, the radiance of the rising sun pours out between the buildings. Daybreak. As the sky grows brighter, we remain in our embrace, as if to reassure each other that we are still here.
それではこれよりオペレーションベルダンディ
Operation Verdandi. Mayuri and Daru turn to me and nod. Today is the last day of Kamima. Daru wanted to attend, of course, but a little begging convinced him to prioritize the operation. I take a look around the lab. These last 20 days have been madness. It's incredible to think that at one point, this lab had a whole 8 members. Now we're back to 3. The memories we made, the experience we shared. To save Mayuri, I will undo them all. There is sorrow in me. Guilt, too. I engrave them deep inside my heart. I'll never forget. I mustn't forget these long, yet short summer days. But still, I chose to erase our memories. I chose to return everything to normal. Suzuha's mission is irrelevant. I'm not doing this for the future. As long as Mayuri lives, nothing else matters.
始めてくれ
Begin.
いいんだな。
Yes.
オキドキ。
Come on, video game. Daru starts typing the IBM 5100. It's already connected to his main computer. This will get us into CERN's central database, which can only be interfered with using the IBM 5100, where they keep the data they mine with Echelon. I'm just imagining it as like, you know, or you remember when we played the Lane PS1 game? I imagine their database is like that, and the IBM 5100 like allows you to interface it through like Lane jumping around. There we will locate the first D-mail I sent on July 28th and erase all trace of its existence. With this, I can reach the beta world line. At last, Mayuri will be safe. I look at Mayuri. She's on the couch, sitting straight as a ramrod, with her grandmother's pocket watch pressed to her ear. She stays still, her eyes closed. Yeah, it also has its own lane that you interface all the files with. Yeah, of course. Whenever Mayuri wants to calm down, she listens to the sound of that pocket watch. Ever since we parted with Kudisu, Mayuri has said nothing about my choice. I guess she's come to terms with it, in her own way. The actual work I've left to Daru, no problem there. While waiting for him to finish, I walk into the development room. In the center of the room is the Time Leap machine. I squat down and gently brush my fingers against the microwave surface. It's cool to the touch. I've made irreplaceable friends because of this thing. And because of this thing, I've hurt them. But I don't want to blame the tool. That's how you use the tool that matters. I've got to admit, it saved me more than once. But still, once this is over, I'll destroy the Time Leap machine. You must never make the same mistakes again. Well, once this is done, you won't have one. I'm pretty sure we don't make the Time Leap machine if Kudisu's not alive to build it, so... We must never make the same mistakes again. It's really there.
あったのか俺が送った D メールが
しっかり残ってるよ。
Daru points to a string of characters. The name is there, followed by the message I wrote about Kudisu's death. 3 lines total, each 12 characters long. This data led CERN to our doorstep. At FB's instruction, Moika and the Rounders attacked. If Suzuha is right, then by erasing the data, we will escape from Attractor Field Alpha, where CERN dominates the future. This will take us to Attractor Field Beta. Which, by the way, this whole bit, I don't know why this works. Because my understanding is the moment that they receive this, they're already on the move. But they're making it sound like if we delete it now, then they won't see it in the future? They just have this data and they just don't notice it until later, I guess? I don't understand why deleting it now prevents everything and moves us over. But whatever. To the beta world line within its range of convergence. To a future without Mayuri's death. Immoral, how's it going? Holy, he looks so beefy compared to the tubby boy in the anime. Bro, have you seen what Mr. Bronze sprite looks like in the anime. You're not going to see him in this chapter, I don't think, unless he shows up after we do what we're about to do. But Mr. Braun, if you look at Mr. Braun's sprite in this game, bro is bro. He is massive. But Daru is also massive, absolutely. But hello, Immoral. How you doing? Mayuri is standing next to me, gazing intently at the monitor. She grasps my hand firmly.
大丈夫だ
She looks anxious, so I pat her head to calm her down.
エンターキーを押せばデータは消せるようになってる
One press. The data's gone. Daru stands up and gestures to the open seat.
その儀式はオカリンに譲るわ
You can press the enter key, buddy. Well, thanks. I sit down and face the keyboard. The zoom into the enter key. Whoosh! Whoosh! This time it ends. Kurisu's face floats through my mind. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Goodbye, Kurisu. I slowly raise my right hand and extend my index finger.
勝利の時は来た
Victory is at hand. Daru twitches at my cry.
この俺はあらゆる陰謀にも
Holy
屈せず
shit.
己の信念を貫き
Feels the aura?
ついにラグナロックを戦い抜いたのだ
Oh, fuck.
この勝利のため我が手足となって戦ってくれた仲間たちに感謝を
They gave the same speech in the Odyssey, by the way. It was basically the same speech. One press of this key and Kurisu will die. I firmly grip my coat at the shoulder, where it's been stitched together with jagged pink thread.
訪れるのは
Oh, so it was pink after all, okay.
俺が望んだ世界なり
I wished for Mayuri to live and Kurisu to die. That is the truth, and I must never forget it.
全てはシュタインズゲートの選択である
He said it! This is the choice of Okabe Rintaro.
エルプサイコングルー世界は再構成される
I swing down my index finger and strike the enter key. Bing! Here we go! 1.1302... Was it 78? Something like that. After a while, the spinning stops, and color gradually returns to the world. Reading Steiner activated. World line has changed. I look around the room. Next to me is Daru. Behind me is Mayuri. I reach out to her, and she takes my hand with a smile. Everything is where it should be. Looks like nothing has changed at all. I gently touch my coat's shoulder, where Kurisu fixed a torn seam. It's gone. My coat isn't torn. The stitches, uneven from having been sewn in the dark, have disappeared. There's no trace of that ridiculous pink thread. I stand up and head to the development room. We ain't got shit here. Underneath the table, the time leap machine... Wait, what? How? Wait, hold on. Wait. No, are we gonna say it's gone? Wait, why is it down there? Wait, hold on. Kurisu's the one who makes the time leap machine. Hello? Wait. Now I'm very confused. Underneath the table, the time leap machine. No. That's not the time leap machine. It's the phone wave. Okay, so it is just the phone wave. I'm seeing the headset there, though. And I thought that was a part of the time leap machine thing. But also, in this timeline, we got to the point of realizing that we had to set up the phone wave underneath the table, which would imply that we were doing more experiments with the phone wave. But if we did, CERN would have caught the text messages. Do we just not feel like changing that element of this? I'm a little confused by that bit. I'm not gonna think too much about it, okay? That's the phone wave, name subject to change. The upgrades Kurisu made are gone. Nothing has changed. The world is exactly the same. No, I mean, it's under the table with the thing underneath because we realized the gravity of it was gonna happen, right? Is this what the... Is this what this room looked like before? I don't think it... Because I don't even think... I'm pretty sure we had it on top of the table. and we only put it underneath when it like broke the table in half or something. I'm pretty sure it was not underneath on like a nice mat until we realized that. I think. I won't worry about it. Nothing has changed. The world is exactly the same. In all respects save one. Kurisu was never here. I thought that I was prepared for this. Now I'm face to face with the cruel consequence of my decision. I feel powerless, defeated. I want to cry.
Okari, どうしたの?
Mayuri runs up and grabs my arm.
なあ、Mayuri。
何
ラボメンナンバー004は
I need to ask. Even though I know what the answer will be.
004? オカリン、オカリン。ラボメンはね、オカリンとマユシーと
We didn't even invite Farius or Lukako or Moika. None of them. The tears come. I crumple to my knees and cover my face with my hands.
そうだな。
Fuck.
このラボに4人目のラボメンなんていなかったよ。
Our existence was rejected by the world.
オカリン、何か悲しいことがあったんだね。
Mayuri rubs my back. We hold on. Okay. Hold everything. Okay, we're good. Mayuri rubs my back.
マユシーはね、オカリンの力になってあげたいよ。
I embrace Mayuri. I stifle my voice and cry.
オカリン、泣かないで。
マユリはどこにも行かないでくれ。ずっとそばにいてくれ。
Mayuri tenderly strokes my head.
マユシーはずっと一緒だよ。これまでみたいにずっと。
All trace of Kurusu's existence has vanished. This proves that I have returned to my original world line. This is the world I struggled to reach. The world Suzuha traveled through time to create. A world where the future is free. Nothing has changed. Yeah, this is my utopia. I just want to read this. All trace of Kurusu's existence has vanished. I have returned to the original world line. This is the world I struggled to reach. Suzuha traveled through time to create a world where the future is free. Nothing has changed yet. This is my utopia. Wow. Did that really only take us 2.5 hours to reach? I don't know if there's more after the credits. Part of me is thinking, like, do I want to try to go for the next chapter ending? Maybe? Tonight? Well, we'll see if there's anything after this. If there's not, we could probably go for it. Imagine a world line where we complete all of Steins Gate tonight. Can you imagine that? It's very loud. Bear with me. Actually, I'll turn it down a bit. There we go. Oh, the Mayuri ending was much shorter than I remember it being, but I guess it makes sense. There wasn't too much to elaborate on. Again, unless there's more after these credits roll. But it's the big, important moral dilemma choice. Sort of similar to what we had in the Lukako ending, but not entirely. Because we're switching an entire world line to achieve it. There is more. There is more. The night of the 17th passed, the night of the 18th passed, and Mayuri still didn't die. I've kept a close watch for 3 days since then. There have been no attacks, no accidents, no sign that anything might happen. That was enough to convince me that Mayuri is safe. Which, by the way, if she did die, we were fucked, because we don't have a time leap machine. I guess we technically still have the phone wave, but the moment we send a D-mail on the phone wave, we're just switching back to the alpha attractor field. So, if she did die again, we were fucked. But everything's good. That was enough to convince me Mayuri is safe. Together with Daru, I destroyed the phone wave and the IBN 5100. Although we have lost the ability to send D-mails, that is a small price to pay to stay below CERN's radar. Tennoji is downstairs in the Braun Tube workshop, watching TV on the 42-inch CRT like always. When I went to check out Radicon, I found it open for business as usual. A search of the internet turned up no mention of a satellite crash. Instead, I found a small article in the local section of a newspaper dated July 28th. It was a report on Kudisu's murder. There was no follow-up. The culprit is still at large. According to Daru, the police questioned me several times. It was I who discovered the body, after all. Of course, I don't remember any of that. At any rate, Mayuri is still alive. I've accomplished what I set out to do. It's over. Mayuri emerges from the ticket gate, waving her hand as she runs my way. She weaves through the gaps between shoppers and maids handing out leaflets. When she gets to me, she looks at me with puppy dog eyes. Mayuri doesn't answer me. She just strokes my cheek, gently, silently. She's crying, but she doesn't seem sad. Rather, she seems overcome with emotion. Aww.
そんなことでいちいち喜ぶな。
Mayuri wipes away her tears, making room for her shy, innocent smile. She got an upgrade! Yo!
いかにも。
Indeed. I have no idea how to respond to such an embarrassing question. But she's right. Mayuri and I are officially a couple. After these long, painful 20 days, I finally realized how important Mayuri is to me. Plus, she told me that she loved me.
よかった。夢じゃないんだ。
いいから、さっさとラボに行くぞ。こんな草暑いところに立っていたら、日射病で死ぬ。
I start walking without waiting for Mayuri's response.
でもね、ラボだってすっごく暑いよ。
扇風機があるだけマシだ。それに喉が渇いた。
Gotta get my daily dose of Dr. P! Of course. It's Sunday. Despite the heat, I see plenty of shoppers laden with bags enjoying themselves on the streets of Akiba. I suddenly feel a void in my heart. Nothing about this town has changed, yet it feels like something is missing from my life. No doubt it's the gap that was left by Kudisu. But there is no such thing as a perfect future. That is merely a delusion that cannot become reality. I mustn't forget. This is the future that I wished for, fought for, and won. I have what is most important to me, Mayuri, who will forever stay by my side. I should be thankful for that. I am blessed far beyond the common man. I look beside me and realize that Mayuri's not there. I turn around. She's not there either.
Mayuri?
Fuck. She's gone. She's always like this. Sometimes she just wanders off. Anxiety seizes my heart. Mayuri promised she would never leave me. This world line is worthless without her. I shout her name at the top of my lungs. I search for her in the crowd, but it's too thick to see.
ここにいるよ
Just wanted to make you freak out for a second. I turn around to see Mayuri running toward me. In her hands is shaved ice.
オカリン暑いって言ってたでしょだからね一緒に食べようと思って
Come on, video game, come on.
驚かせるなよ
I feel so relieved. I want to embrace that small body of hers, but we're in public, so I stop myself. I take the shaved ice and hold my empty hand out to
捕ま
Mayuri.
っていろ
Mayuri takes my hand. Her slender fingers intertwine with
か
mine.
き氷はラボまでお預けだ路上で食べたら迷惑だろ
でもね溶けちゃうんじゃないかな
しょうがないだろ
If it melts, it melts.
そっかしょうがないよね手をつないでたら食べられないもんね
離さないぞ
Aww.
俺は絶対に離さないからな
マユシーだってね離さないよ
Mayuri puts just a little more strength into her grip. Love for her fills my heart. Suddenly, Mayuri looks up at Radicon.
ねえねえオカリあのね起きているのに夢を見たことってある
夢それは白チウムというやつか
そういう風に呼ぶのオカリンも
What can I say? I'm somewhat of a genius. You know.
あのねそれが誰だかわからないんだけど
Uh,
マユシーにはとても大切なお友達がいた気がするの
no, haha, that was me, right?
何
I'm the important friend, right? Haha.
その大切なお友達のことを考えるとねすごく切なくなって胸のあたりがキューってなるんだ
Like, hing.
たまにね声も聞こえるんだよ
That we should see a doctor about, I think.
声
We should see someone about that one.
幸せになりなさいって
Hold. We're in a holding pattern. Okay. Boom, boom. Ba-dum-bum-ba. I'm like debating to myself if I want to try to do the other chapter tonight as well, and I think the answer is probably no. We'll probably just wrap this one up, and then we'll probably wrap up for tonight. If I have time and during the day tomorrow, I could read the Kurusu chapter, I guess, if it's about as long. But I don't. I'll have to look it up to see how long the next chapters are. But they're probably all each going to be 3 hours long. So I don't know. The voice tells me to find happiness. Wait, hold on. Did I accidentally skip a thing? It just says okay. All of that was undone. I erased those memories, sacrificed them.
その人がそう言ってくれたからね マユシーは今こうして
It sure is, or was. Perhaps everybody remembers their experiences from other world lines. Those memories may be vague and tenuous, but they're still there all the same. And we perceive them in the form of dreams, visions, and deja vu. Now I'm just thinking of, like, anonymous code, and whether or not reading Steiner is just, like... You know how, like, a hard drive... You know, it'll still have all the previous data, you're just writing over it over time? Is it just like that? The data's still there, kind of, but you're just writing over it a bunch? Maybe that's all reading Steiner is, perhaps? We're just perceiving the old data, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, we perceive them in the form of dreams, visions, and deja vu.
もし会えたらありがとうって言いたいな。
I'm not the only one who remembers.
その人誰だったのかな。
きっと
God.
神様だ。
Must have been God.
そっか、神様ありがとう。
Haha, thanks God.
マユシーはとっても幸せです。
If there really is a god out there, I'm sure he's above the sky. So Mayuri murmurs as she looks up. She reaches out to the sky like always. She shakes hands with the Stardust, twinkling beyond the coat of blue. I look up too to hold back the tears. And on we walk hand in hand. Translucent Stardust completed! And so ends the Mayuri ending. It has been about 3 hours. Now the question becomes... do I go for the Kurisu ending? Or do we wrap up for the night? It has only been like roughly 2.5 hours. Like 2 hours 40 minutes, 2 hours 50 minutes. Hold on. I think to determine this really, I'm gonna need to see how long it is on like somebody else's playthrough. Hold on. Steins Gate. Fuck you. Stop. What's happening on YouTube? Steins Gate. What is this other ending called? Paradox Meltdown. This person's blind playthrough seemingly took them like 3.5 hours to do. 3 hours? They might have been going a little slower than me. But it looks like it... Wait, no, they don't have just that. They have all the Moika route stuff too. Wait, so when's the actual... when's the Mayuri stuff? Okay, the actual ending looks to be about an hour for Kurisu. If I'm going... wait, no, even that. Hold on, it's even less than that. Should I be going for this? Did you just label this wrong? Hold on. Yeah, this person finished Paradox Meltdown in 2 hours. Oh wait, no, but they're also reading the bit that we already just read. So they read the full thing, but the actual ending is like an hour. No, we can do it too. We can do this here. But now the question is, how long is the true ending? playthrough. Is this stuff not long? Wait, should we? Are we able to wrap this up tonight? This one says True End, Part 1 blind, and it's an hour. And then Part 2 blind is also an hour. And then Part 3 and Epilogue blind is also an hour. So the true ending appears to be about 3 hours based on this person potentially doing a slower read. So maybe we won't be able to finish it, but I think we could do Kurisu's ending tonight too. Maybe. I'm just trying to think for the purposes of splitting the VOD stuff. It would be kind of awkward to have it be separated out, but I guess it makes more sense to have it be separated out. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I think we're going to do the Kurisu ending tonight as well. Because it seems short. The true ending, we might leave for next time. I think that's what we'll do. Because the true ending seems like it might be like 3 hours. So I think we'll do that. I'll ping about this, I guess, maybe. And I'll change the stream title and all that too. Hold on. Chapter 11. Ending. Paradox Meltdown. Alright, I'm gonna end the VOD recording for the Mayuri VOD, and then we'll switch it over to the Kurisu part.